Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday morning, March 14th. Two big storms impacting the nation. One over the northeastern U.S. Mid-Atlantic region with some heavy snows in the interior sections of the northeast U.S. and very strong winds throughout the northeastern quadrant of the nation, all the way down to the southern part of the Mid-Atlantic region. Meanwhile, out west, California is getting pounded again by a very strong storm system, producing a ton of snow in the higher elevations and a lot of rainfall in the low-lying areas, as well as some powerful winds out there. We'll kind of talk a little bit about both of these systems. Here's the latest weather warnings map from NOAA, the northeastern U.S., all kinds of winter storm warnings, winter storm advisories, storm warnings off the coast with those powerful winds. We have wind advisories as well throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. So even if you're not getting any snow or rain associated with this system, let's say down in the D.C. metro region, you're still heavily impacted by powerful wind gusts of 50 miles per hour or more, not only today, but tonight and Wednesday as well. Freeze warnings throughout much of the southern U.S., Tennessee Valley region. On the backside of the storm, it's really drawn some quite chilly air for this time of the year, way down to the deep south. Meanwhile, out west, we have wind advisories, we have flood watches in effect, and in those higher elevation areas of eastern California, for example, we have winter storm warnings, and that extends all the way out to the Rocky Mountain states. So a lot of snowfall on both coasts over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. The interior Northeast and all those higher elevations out in the western U.S. Well, here's the latest radar loop from WSIsandtelecast.com. Again, two corners of the country here. Well, the northeastern part of the U.S. and the western U.S. Under attack this morning. We have some heavy snow now breaking out across the interior sections, especially the higher elevation areas of New York State, New England. Will get significant snowfall over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. You can see how it's kind of rotating around. It will actually drive a little bit to the south and west today and perhaps produce snow showers all the way down in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, maybe even an outside chance that some of these snow showers make their way all the way down into the northeastern part of Maryland. Does not look like a snowstorm from New York City nor Philadelphia. Not too far away from New York City to the north and west, you'll get maybe a half a foot of snow in the interior sections of northwestern New Jersey, the higher elevation sections there, northeastern PA as well, maybe a half a foot. Then you go just to the north, Hudson Valley region of New York State, western Massachusetts, Connecticut, all the way up into Vermont, New Hampshire, and even Maine, and it'll be significant snowfall, 1 to 2 feet in some places. I'm thinking maybe 4 to 8 inches in the Boston metro area, but significantly more just to the west of there. Meanwhile, out in California, some flooding rainfall in those lower lying areas, the coastal sections, and significant snow once again across the Sierra Nevada mountain range of eastern California. Well, let's walk through the high-resolution model run from the NAM, last night's 0Z run, as we begin the day here on Tuesday, March 14th. That storm system that pushed off the North Carolina coastline early yesterday has significantly intensified in that 24-hour period, reaching well off the coast early this morning here. And we've talked about this in prior videos as an inverted trough, kind of an extended trough, and even a secondary sign of a low pressure area, like right tucked in along the coastline. And that is making this kind of a complicated forecast, and it's also a reason why this precipitation may rotate around from northeast to southwest as this trough kind of slides down the coast and enhances the precipitation all the way into eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey over the next several hours. In fact, let's walk through on an hourly basis, and you can see a lot of the precipitation confined as we begin the day here across northeastern PA and northern New Jersey, but it does work its way. And by the way, you can see right here kind of a secondary low pressure area depicted here by this high resolution model right in here. You can see a little closed isobar right in here, and this is kind of what we call a Fujiwara effect, where one system drops in this fashion and rotates around while another system moves in that fashion, kind of a dumbbelling effect. Again, it kind of complicates the whole scene here, but it's part of the reason why this will trend to the south and west. And here we go. You can see these bands, and look at these heavy snow bands now moving into eastern Massachusetts from east to west. And now this is starting to extend all the way down into southeastern Pennsylvania. At this particular time, this is mid to late afternoon hours, maybe even into southern New Jersey. And there could be a snow shower or two that actually works its way all the way down into the northeastern part of Maryland. But a lot of snow here at this particular time, especially interior sections of the Northeast. It's just a little bit too warm in New York City, and be enough of a mix of rain and snow to really significantly reduce the chances of a snowstorm in New York City, and certainly not in Philadelphia as well. Boston, a pretty decent storm. Again, 4 to 8 inches possibility in Boston, but you go just to the west of there, central, western Massachusetts, the western and central part of Connecticut, and especially all of this section here, eastern New York, up across Vermont, New Hampshire, right in this region right here, and you'll see the bullseye of snow. In fact, let's take a look at the total snowfall forecast map. And here it is, the total snowfall forecast map from, again, the same high resolution model of the NAM 0Z last night. Again, you get up into northeastern PA, northwestern New Jersey, you could have 6 inches of snow out of this. The real bullseye will be north of there, all the way in this region right here, pretty much all of eastern New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way into western Massachusetts, even western part of Connecticut. 1 to 2 feet certainly on the table, and even more in those highest elevation locations. A lot of mountains in this area, and the significant snow will extend all the way up into Maine. But the real bullseye here, right there in that particular zone, not a snowstorm from New York City, certainly not for Philadelphia. There may be a coating of snow, by the way, as far south as this circle right here, southeastern PA into southern and central New Jersey. I would extend possibility of a coating of snow in Philadelphia, for example. You could even get an inch or two in those far northern suburbs, let's say upper part of Bucks County. Boston, maybe 4 to 8 inches. Just to the west of there, it increases dramatically. But here is the bullseye section. Now, this entire area, all the way down into the southern mid-Atlantic, will be impacted by these strong winds. Again, 50 miles per hour or so, isolated power outages certainly on the table, even all the way down to D.C. And by the way, the winds could go up to 60 or 70 miles per hour in this storm, at the height of the storm, across coastal New England. Let's say the southeastern part of Massachusetts, for example. You certainly can get wind gusts 60, 70 miles per hour from this system over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Well, let's just quickly go over the precipitation totals for the California storm, the western U.S. storm. This is, again, over the next 48-hour period. First of all this purple area is at least 2 inches or more, and look at it, all the way extends down into Southern California near the San Diego region, and a pretty substantial precipitation maker throughout the western part of the nation, and certainly these higher elevation locations of Sierra Nevada and Eastern California and the Rocky Mountain states will get significant snow. In fact, let's take a look at that next. And here it is, the total snowfall map from the NAM model run 0Z last night. Right here, Sierra Nevada, a tremendous snowpack already, and this is 35 inches showing up right here, another 3 feet approximately in the southern part of Sierra Nevada mountains over the next couple of days, and that's on top of what is already an extremely deep snowpack, probably ending up as the snowiest winter ever recorded in the Sierra Nevada mountain range of eastern California. You can see a lot of significant snow in those higher elevations of the Rocky Mountain states over the next couple of days. Great for skiers throughout the western part of the nation. And by the way, great for skiers in the northeastern part of the nation as well. Well, let's just wrap up by doing a quick walk through the zero-Z run of the Canadian model run. This is the operational version of the Canadian model, kind of looking now at a broad view here. Here's the storm in the northeast, and here's the precipitation associated with the storm out west. And again, that low pressure area is well off the coast right now, but there's kind of a secondary reflection, an inverted trough going all the way back to about Long Island as we begin the day here on Tuesday. Significant snow, and especially in those interior sections of the northeast U.S. Meanwhile, out west, here's the low pressure area right here over the Pacific Ocean, the eastern Pacific. A lot of rain, coastal sections, and we saw a moment ago, it looks like that'll end up extending all the way down to the Mexico, California border, San Diego, for example. And let's move forward here with time. Rotates around. The snow showers can make their way all the way into southeastern PA, the Philly metro region, for example, southern New Jersey. Look at this intensification, 977 millibar low, a tight pressure gradient between this low and this incoming high over the middle part of the nation. And again, winds will become the major factor, really the main factor in a lot of the mid-Atlantic region from this system. Like DC, for example, very little chance of any snow down there. Maybe a snow shower far northeastern suburbs in Maryland, but the winds will be a big time factor, 50 mile per hour or more wind gusts, and certainly power outages are on the table, isolated power outages all the way down to the southern mid-Atlantic. And here comes that low pressure area right into northern California, tremendous storm system again. Once again, impacting California. We go all the way into tomorrow morning. California storm moves into the Rocky Mountain states, and we still have a lot of wind to deal with in the mid-Atlantic, northeast U.S. on Wednesday, and we'll go out a couple more days here. The weather finally relaxes by the time we get to Thursday. Here's the Thursday morning forecast map. High pressure takes over in the eastern U.S. It'll turn much milder on Thursday and Friday. Places like DC, for example, can jump into the 60s on Thursday and Friday. Meanwhile, accumulating snow across portions of the Rocky Mountain states and into the northern plains from that California storm today into the northern plains by Thursday morning. So that's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.